This is our fourth clean sheet, and that tells we are in a good direction. And now also we improve defending the counterattacks, and that shows we are in a good direction. We control the game in possession by nice structures, but then in the final part, the third, we have to be more threat and especially be more clinical, more killing, and that is the problem throughout the season. And if you don't score, then it's difficult to win a game.
We prepared the match trying to win, but we didn't do. But we had to be overall in this month happy how we compete and we got the points and how we are in the table. I think is good for our way and how we are in this moment to try to build the team as strong as possible.
There's been all the talk about people's futures and all that. You've been through it all before. Does it ever affect the players?
It does, you know. I mean, I think I'm not going to say it affects players in a negative way, but you know, we always talk about it, and you know, it's on our minds too. And I think the more experience, you know, I've got throughout my career, you know, like I say, I've been through it, you know, many times. Is making sure that that your own mind's on it, and making sure that you know that you do everything you can to be ready and give everything that you can for the team.
You have this international break now. Is it a good time for the squad? What's going to happen for you in the next 2 weeks?
It's never a good time because you want to keep going in the process, and you see we are improving. But now, players go away, and every club coach has to deal with this. And then we have a short time to prepare the next game.
Johnny, first on the result, how happy are you and the team to come away from a very tough place to go with a point?
I think there's always that little bit of bittersweet, you know, we have nicked it at the end, but you know, showed good sort of defensive resilience, and I thought, you know, to a man, everyone put a real shift in today and showed a bit of grit and determination to not let Villa score. And like I say, we were sort of hoping that little bit of luck would go our way and get the chance on the break.
Yeah, there was some moments, wasn't there? Rashford in the first half tested Martinez. Bruno hit the bar in the second from a great free kick. We thought you were going to score with the head from Eriksen's corner. I mean, there were some fine moments in amongst the game which, attacking-wise, didn't have a lot of quality at times.
No, and I think that's, you know, probably, you know, our sort of defensive performance and you know, the way we were working off the ball, and you know, we probably felt that going into the sort of the attacking side of the game. But you know, hopefully we can sort of, you know, build that confidence that we can do that, and it becomes second nature. That obviously in the attacking play can flow as well. And you know, it's a tough place to come to Villa Park. They're a good team, and you know, Emery's got them very well organised in terms of their setup, and you know, so it's pleasing to sort of limit them also to not too many chances, and yeah, we did that well.
Yeah, and the boss just said when we spoke to him how happy he was with the togetherness, the fighting spirit of the team. You've been under some pressure, some criticism of late, but today showed how you're all fighting for each other.
I think so, and I think, you know, as players, you know, you sort of need to, you know, prove that you can do that, you know, on an individual basis too. You know, you've got to prove it to yourself and to give yourself that confidence to do it week in, week out, and then obviously then the team benefits from that. And I think obviously personnel changes a lot. This football club, the amount of games, you know, you never have a fully fit squad or a fully fit starting 11. So players coming in, making sure that they're ready, and you know, did that fantastically today.
And on a personal note, to walk away with the broadcast as man of the match, and you're smashing the vote on the official Man United app as man of the match. So a good day personally.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I love coming to Villa Park. I was just sort of, you know, had such a buzz. You know, the manager told me after Porto on the way back in the plane that I was going to play. You know, get your head ready for it. But you know, so I've been pretty calm. But as soon as we arrived at the stadium, you know, I got that sort of, you know, the butterflies in the stomach, ready to go, and couldn't wait to get out there and compete.
Well, really pleased with you today and the team. Great clean sheet, and we'll see you after the internationals.
Hi, Sam.
Can you reflect on the performance and the result after a difficult week?
This is our fourth clean sheet in this season, and that tells something about the control we have in and out of possession, that we are organised very well. And in many games so far we created loads of chances. Today we didn't create that much, but we had the chances with Rashford before halftime, and after halftime we had a free kick from Bruno on the crossbar. And then also we have to see that in the end, when you defend like we did today, very solid, that you also you have some luck in the end when they created probably the best chance of the game with that deflected shot, the block from Diogo.
So, Eric, have you spoken to Jim Ratcliffe or Dan Ashworth or Margarada since the game?
I speak continually with them, and just after the game I have to do my job, talk with the players, manage the players, and answer questions for you.
And do you expect to have talks with them in the coming days now?
We always talk. Every week, I would say every day we talk. So yeah, I expect them, I will speak with them.
Eric, individual performances today was quite good, but you're still well in the bottom half of the table. You haven't won for 5 matches. Do those things matter when you're speaking with the owners? There's obviously a lot of external noise. What is the feeling like inside the club?
I think, Simon, you said it very good. External noise. Internal, yeah, we are disappointed and we know we have to do better. Especially we need to score more, because that is, in this moment, the area after this block of games where we are really short. All the other areas, I think we are doing really well. 4 clean sheets. So that tells something about the defending organization. Also now, the defending of defensive transitions, we are doing really well. So we are really improving on that point. Our build-up play is good. We are calm, composed. We're creating the chances, apart from today. I think today we should have to create more. But yeah, that area in the box of the opponent, we have to be more ruthless, more clinical, more killing, and we have to work on this.
So you feel the ownership is solidly behind you?
So I don't have any idea that it's different, because they should have told me. We communicate very open, very transparent.
Mark, Eric, why can't you score a goal? It's three away games. Five all season. Only Southampton scored a few, so you've got expensive strikers. Are they not good enough? What is the reason?
It will come. More reasons. Sometimes it's the form. Rasmus Højlund is just in the season. He is not up to 100% fitness, match fitness, and he is our goal scorer. Would say our best goal scorer, but also others. We know they can score goals, like Rashford. But he scored in Porto. He had a good assist in Porto. Today he created 2 very good chances. I think Garnacho is all season already a threat, but also scoring and assist. Bruno, he has the abilities to score goals. So we will get there, and we trust the players. And on one day it will click.
Sorry.
Eric, you changed the centre backs today. Can you just explain the thinking behind it? Obviously, Johnny Evans played very well, but it's unusual, I suppose, to see Martinez and De Ligt both out of the team.
Rotation. We have loads of games, and we have to rotate the team, the freshness, and I think it was a good decision today. I think the performances from Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans, they were very solid. But also I think Matthijs De Ligt came in at half-time, was very solid.
Was there any consideration to putting Leacher on a left back and switching rather than Lindelof at right back?
Of course, you take everything into consideration, but more reasons than you have to change the back 4 totally. That is one. And Johnny Evans, you don't know. I didn't know if he can come to an end. Then I have to sub again. So yeah, there are always consideration. 1-for-1 was for me was the best idea.
John, Eric, do you feel Marcus was a little bit lucky to stay on the pitch today, to not get the second yellow card? Just in terms of the current climate, or is it much better to actually have a referee with a bit of common sense to make that decision?
There was maybe a second foul, but that would be very harsh. But yeah, you can have the feeling in a away stadium, and when you make another one, then yeah, you have to hope for the refereeing what they are doing. So I thought it was the best idea to take him off, to protect the team, but also to protect him.
The referee didn't communicate that to you, that you shouldn't take him off or anything like that?
No, that is not what referees are doing.
Okay, thank you. How's Hart?
Well, that was tedious, but the analysis is going to be great, isn't it?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Right, start with Jonny Evans, who was the best player on the pitch. Right?
He was a surprise before the game coming in. But what Jonny Evans has done is he's used every ounce of his experience. He'll have watched Ollie Watkins in midweek against Bayern Munich. And what he will have realised is that Jonny Evans wants to feel players. Ollie Watkins wants to feel players. He wants to get tight. Jonny Evans drops off. He doesn't let Watkins feel him. If he steps into this position now, Tielemans can hit that ball in behind. And in a foot race, there's only going to be one winner. He never, ever lets him get beyond him or alongside him. This time, passes him on to Harry Maguire, and now he's ready to step out and make that challenge. Challenge is perfectly timed. In this situation here, he's always on the front foot. He's always active and ready to step into a position. It doesn't come into this position this time. Now he vacates it. Harry Maguire picks him up, and now he's ready for the next passage of play. What he wants now is he wants that ball to go wide, because he knows that can be defended, and it can be defended well. Keep your eye on Ross Barkley, because what he now knows is that Leon Bailey's left-footed, so he knows there's going to be a pullback at some point. Aware of who's around him, steps out. Again, the timing of the challenge is perfect. In possession, he's high. Soon as it turns over, quick look over his shoulder, knows exactly where Watkins is. What does he want to do? He wants to drop again. He wants to get beyond Ollie Watkins to make sure he's in a situation where Watkins can't run him. Just keep your eye on his movement here. A little bit of in and out so Watkins can't dart in behind him. Timing again. Never dives in, only goes at the right time when he knows he can make that challenge. A little bit of a rush of blood here. Finds himself higher up the pitch, getting a little bit carried away. It's a long run back in, Johnny. But this positioning again, making sure that you're high, that allows now De Ligt to go and engage with Rodgers. Because he knows De Ligt's looked at the situation, goes in for the first one. Now he's vacated Watkins because he realises the timing's right to step out. This is later on in the game. He's now the deepest player for Manchester United defending this cross, but just keep an eye on him now as he drives up the pitch. He runs past his midfielders, Anthony, Kobbie Mainoo, Christian Eriksen. Look how high he is now, advancing up the pitch. This is late on in the game. This is around about the 80th minute in the game. Driving forward, making sure he's advancing. But not only that, look at the run then. Garnacho could probably play him in. Poor play by Xerxes, but an outstanding performance from someone who's not getting too much game time at the moment.
No, he isn't, and you know, it's an amazing story that he's even back there, isn't it? But that kind of experience is invaluable. You don't need to play him every week, but you need that experience around.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a great example of sometimes in football it's less important to be fast, it's more important to be on time, in the right position on time. And any young defender watching there is almost a masterclass about how to use your strengths and combat what the opponent can do to you.
I know they kept a clean sheet, Manchester United, but creativity is still a massive issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And one thing that you find baffling at times when you watch Manchester United is the setup of the midfielders. So Kobbie Mainoo's here, Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes. But as this play continues to evolve now and roll out, what we find is Bruno Fernandes wants to come across the pitch. He's almost running the opposite side to where the ball will end up. He points towards Maguire. So now they're all on a straight line high up the pitch. You look at this position and you look at Kobbie Mainoo. He's in a safe position, but he's a centre midfielder in a centre-back position. Bruno's gone right up top. It's very easy to mark him. Christian Eriksen's actually probably the only player who's playing in a position where there's a little bit of pressure on him. He wants to get on the ball and take it in a difficult position. I don't know what Bruno's trying to do here. Playing high up the pitch, wanting a 70-yard switcher play from Jonny Evans. We know Johnny played well, but he's not got that 70-yard switch in his locker. But one thing Villa do is they play a high line. Start your run deeper and then advance. He's always in an offside position here, Bruno. He's always in a position where he can't really affect anything. And from a defensive point of view, that's easy to play against.
OK, so you're going to take the same clip and then flip the players to where you think they should be?
Yeah, because I'm looking at it from a midfielder's point of view, and I'm an Aston Villa midfielder. What would make the game hard for me? Well, Kobbie Mainoo in that position isn't difficult to defend against. Christian Eriksen we can get round. Bruno's not a problem because he's higher up the pitch. So what we'll do now is we'll flip it to where we want them to be and how Manchester United could play a little bit more expansive and open. So what we now have is we have a better balance in midfield of Mainoo and Christian Eriksen holding players and Fernandes higher. But this is always also a balance out of possession, so they're not as vulnerable on the counter-attack. Maguire, he's on the ball here. Give him options, simple pass outside, whether that's a full-back, a winger, or now we've advanced Onana. We know he's great on the ball. We know he wants to play out. Give him the option of being that third centre-back, if you like, and push those midfielders in. If Mainoo drops out, now there's a question for the Aston Villa midfielder. Can you now play the ball into Bruno? I'd love to see Bruno in these positions on the ball, because going 1v1 against Tielemans in that position or Ross Barkley, he will cause them problems. Now, I know it's static and you're watching it, but as a midfielder now, if things are inside me, it becomes so much more difficult to deal with. Christian Eriksen stood on his own. It's so easy to press, but it's also so easy to counter-attack against.
Is it? I mean, in those situations there, you've created triangles. That feels like the oldest thing in the book when I was a kid talking about creating triangles. Is it still about that?
Is it about creating overloads as much as possible? I'd say so within the game, and I think that's still relevant.
Yeah, I think so. Whatever shape you want to talk about, is it diamonds or triangles? I think in the end you're trying to get your best players in the right positions to attack the opponent, and I'm guessing that's what they're doing all the time, trying to do that.
Yeah,
to have overloads, to have 2-on-1.
Yeah, well, that's what you're trying to create in situations. If you look at the best teams in the league at the moment, for me, Manchester City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, they create overloads by pushing people. Well, getting the fullbacks wider, 1v1s wider in wide positions, creating 2v1s.
Yeah, I thought you made a great point about Onana as well. That was the whole point in signing him. That was everything, you know, one of the real major strengths of his game is to add that player, to allow him to step up and be a ball-playing goalkeeper, and they just don't seem to be utilising one of his main strengths.
Right, we'll have results of goal of the month after Saturday's goals, starting with Liverpool at Crystal Palace.